Cabinet approves committee to deal with the matter of constitutional reform for Trinidad and Tobago. Prime Minister says SOE is not the solution for crime in this country. TRHA leases ambulances from Trinidad, and Trinidad and Tobago records its first COVID-19 JN.1 subvariant. Good evening, I'm Patricia Nicholson-Richards, and this is your Tobago Updates television news for Thursday, 18th January 2024. Topping the news tonight. During the post-cabinet media briefing hosted by the Prime Minister today, he announced that an advisory committee will be formed to bring about constitutional reform in the country, which will be comprised of several notable figures. Here's more.
Cabinet has approved an advisory committee to formulate terms of reference for a national consultation on constitutional reform for the country.
To engage citizens and stakeholders in Trinidad and Tobago and the diaspora in a national consultation.
Dr. Rowley said that this committee will formulate terms of reference and make recommendations to the Cabinet 3 months after its appointment to promote and convene a national constitutional conference and consultation in June of 2024.
Taking into consideration the diverse nature of our national society, its historical evolution, and the progress made in nationhood since attaining independence and Republican status, and matters related thereto.
The Prime Minister explained that the committee will incorporate within its proposed terms of reference parameters of subject matter for national debate and for the engagement of the wider cross-section of persons and bodies representing the citizenry, which includes
the diaspora, political parties, NGOs, commercial interests, religious interests, labor, trade union interests, educators and students, with a view to promoting meaningful consultations, debate and engagement in the offering and exchange of opinions.
This also includes the making of recommendations for the reform of the country's constitution. Dr. Rowley listed the 7 persons on the advisory committee. Former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Barendra Sinanan, will be the chairman of the committee. Economist Terence Farrell, former THA Chief Administrator Ray Sandy, former clerk in the House of Representatives Jackie Sampson Miguel, Chairman of the Public Service Commission Winston Rudder, lawyer Nizam Mohammed, and accountant Hema Narayan Singh. Ariana Scipio, Tobago Updates Television News.
The Tobago Regional Health Authority, TRHA, sought to mitigate the shortage of ambulances on the island by leasing 4 ambulances from Universal Ambulance Services Limited. However, EMT workers complained that the leased ambulances are not suitable to provide the necessary services to Tobago, nor were they consulted before it was provided. Reporter Candice Jackson looked into the issue and brings us this story.
Secret that the public health system has been experiencing problems with the supply of ambulances in Tobago. The last time the TRHA acquired new ambulances was in 2014. 10 were purchased. After being put into use, they eventually encountered problems and parts needed to be replaced. It reduced the fleet to approximately 2. Such a situation is untenable for Tobago's needs. In December 2023, the TRHA took the decision to lease 4 ambulances from Universal Ambulance Services based in San Fernando for 3 months. These 4 ambulances were accompanied by 4 drivers. However, this stopgap measure is not sitting well with EMT workers. They complain that they were not consulted before the ambulances were leased. Additionally, the ambulances themselves were too small. EMT workers explain that the lack of sufficient space is a safety violation and has caused problems in treating patients. In one case, EMT workers experienced problems in administering CPR. They also drew attention to the cost on the public purse. Each ambulance incurs a cost of approximately $3,000 a day, amounting to over $1.1 million for all 4 over the 3-month period. In comparison, they claim that acquiring parts for the old ambulances, such as a transmission or an engine mount, might only cost the TRHA approximately $250,000. In response, Secretary of Health, Wellness and Social Protection, Dr. Faith B. Yajol, said she recommended using the leased ambulances at short notice.
I asked the Tobago Regional Health Authority to look into leasing a few ambulances to supplement the fleet.
TRHA engaged Universal Ambulance Services Limited, but it was not the first time they were engaged.
It's important to note that these are the same ambulances that we leased earlier in the year when we had the October Carnival and when we had Commonwealth Games.
As for the complaints about not enough space, Dr. B. Israel said it was without merit and explained EMT workers are only required to accompany the patient to a health facility.
The company that we've leased those ambulances from have, of course, all of their necessary approvals, all of their necessary insurances, and so forth. We would not have entered into an agreement without checking those things first.
She stressed that the leased ambulances are only a short-term measure because 4 new ambulances were purchased and should be arriving in Tobago in a couple of weeks.
The ambulances are smaller than we would like, which is why we ensured that the ambulances that are coming in a couple weeks will be bigger. As a matter of fact, they would be able to have 2 patients in the back at the same time so that we can provide that kind of service.
The 4 new ambulances were purchased at $1.3 million. Candace Jackson, Tobago Updates, Television News.
Chief Secretary Farley Augustine is clarifying the record regarding what is being sent to Parliament concerning the Tobago self-governance bills. He explained that the document being prepared is merely pointing out the differences between what is presently in the bills and what Tobagonians originally proposed. Augustine appeared on Good Morning Tobago with Candace Jackson to clear the air.
Tobago self-governance bills during this current session. However, Chief Secretary Farley Augustine had previously noted issues with the contents of the bills. 2 weeks ago, at the funeral for Tobago's first Chief Secretary Ho Choi Charles, Augustine announced plans to deliver a document to all parliamentarians itemizing those issues. However,
well, it's not changes that Farley is proposing or the current government is proposing.
It is a matrix of highlighting the differences between what Tobagonians originally agreed to during the Tobago autonomy consultations, which began in 2013 and led by former Chief Secretaries Orville London and Ho Choi Charles, and what is in the current bills.
Is by highlighting to the parliamentarians that, look, these are the gaps, these are the areas of dissonance between what you have placed in the bills versus what Tobagonians sent down to Parliament.
Augustine also revealed that this matrix was a combination of work done by Mr. Charles before his passing and involved individuals like Ingrid Melville and Alan Richards, who originally worked on the Tobago autonomy consultations with Mr. London to develop the bill submitted to Cabinet in 2018. Additionally, Augustine promised that Tobagonians would be made aware of the details of the matrix at the same time it is submitted to parliamentarians. He said island-wide consultations would then occur.
Tobagonians will have an opportunity to now decide for themselves and to tell us, the government, what they want to insist on keeping and what they are willing to part with insofar as their ideas that they have sent down to the Parliament.
Among the major differences between what Tobagonians originally proposed and what exists in the current bills was the concept of jurisdiction, essentially defining the physical boundaries of the Tobago House of Assembly's authority. This aspect was a subject of much debate in the 2021 public consultations when the bills were before the Joint Select Committee.
It cannot be that we have a current Act 40 of 1996, that gives the current Tobago House of Assembly up to 6 miles in terms of jurisdiction for executive administrative purposes, and then we come to a new bill and you have 0 miles.
The Chief Secretary assured that the matrix, as well as the schedule for public consultations, will be released before the end of January. Candace Jackson, Tobago Updates, Television News.
We'll take a short break and come back with more. Stay with us.
Flow is bringing Carnival and cash home with a total of $300,000 in cash back when you pay on time, sign up, or upgrade to an everything plan. Plus, we're live streaming fets so you could wind down in your bed, hosting Blue Friday Limes at your favorite hangouts. So every Friday you could play a mass and win free fet tickets plus Carnival costumes. Flow bringing Carnival home so you could like yourself. Visit in-store or discoverflow.co for more details. Flow, inspired by you.
Rotisserie, mouth-watering fries, salads, combos, and specials galore. Feeling for something to eat? Come and see. Our rotisserie is seasoned to the T. Kicking chicken, masala, and jerk roast. Crispy fries made from scratch. Who do you know can't beat that? Or salads freshly cut and packed. When you taste it, you'll be wanting to come back. So come check us out on number 2 Robinson Street, Uptown Scarborough, Tobago. We open on Saturday nights from 7:30 to 11:30 p.m. Monday to Thursday, we're open from 10 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. and on Friday, 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us at 772-7443 and all social media handles at The Rotisserie Factory.
Hey, hello guys, welcome. Come have a seat. Oh, this is so stylish and I love the fabric. Darlings, you must tell us where you got your new furnishings.
We got them locally at Standard. They've got new chic European furniture, crafted from high quality material.
Oh, Standard?
No, it's Standard, their brand new Hive collection.
Experience luxurious European furniture at a price you will love. The Hive collection, now exclusively available at Standard.
Yo everyone, it's your boy Harry here from Authentic Builders General Hardware, located right here in Stobie, Local Road, Tobago. That's correct, right here in Tobago. And we are offering you guys the best prices on all hardware material. And if you would like to get your free quotation done, all you have to do is WhatsApp us at 272-1990 and we will give you guys the best prices on all hardware material. That is a guarantee as we are matching or beating any quotations.
Your destiny. The best way to predict it is to create it. Do you see yourself exploring exotic destinations or spending quality time with family? However you see yourself, create your own retirement destiny with Tata Life's Destiny Personal Savings Booster. Choose from one of 3 investment options with guaranteed minimum investment returns to secure a monthly retirement income for life, with the option to choose your retirement age. So what's your retirement destiny? Call 62-TATIL or visit tatil.co.tt to learn more today. Conditions apply. Tatil Life, a member of the Answer Makal Group.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Welcome back. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley said that holding a state of emergency is not a new thing. However, it is not the best option. Dr. Rowley spoke about the anti-crime talks opposition leader Kamla Prasad-Bisesa hosted last Monday. He stated that one of the only solutions that came out of the discussion was a state of emergency.
It was going to be a proposal. You didn't need no crime talks. You could have told us that a long time. You could have saved us the trouble of thinking that you had something useful to say.
If that was going to be a proposal on the crime talks, Dr. Rowley said that the state of emergency held in 2011 under the leadership of the UNC was a failure. He also accused them of arresting persons without evidence.
Pick up people without evidence, take them and say fighting crime in state of emergency. The end result of that was a fleet of lawsuits.
The Prime Minister also indicated that the government has been looking at all options to combat crime. However, a state of emergency is not the best option as of now, since it has many downsides.
We would want to do nothing to disrupt the economic recovery that we have been working towards and hoping to experience more going forward.
The Prime Minister believes that the economy should not suffer by the actions of criminals and that a state of emergency would not get the root cause of criminality. To some other news, Minority Leader Kelvin Morris believes that the people of Tobago should be active participants in the conversation on increased autonomy for the island. He responded to Chief Secretary Farley's recent comments on the bills. Here's more.
Leader Kelvin Morris drew attention to the recent declaration made by the Chief Secretary Farley Augustine, where he said changes would be presented to Parliament for discussion. Morris said that the Tobago House of Assembly has not given its approval.
And he's now taking an approach that has the potential to derail years and years of work and years of input by the average Tobagonian that was really with the intention of Tobago once and for all achieving a level of self-government that can really transform the lives of the people of the island.
Morris said that during previous administrations, public consultations would be held across Tobago and all major stakeholders were involved in those discussions. This ensured that the bill that were discussed in the Tobago House of Assembly and ultimately sent to Parliament represented the opinions of the majority of Tobagonians.
One of the arguments advanced when this bill was being debated is that they found that there was inadequate consultation and inadequate time for Tobagonians to reflect and review what was being proposed as the final version of the bill. And now here it is. The Chief Secretary is submitting proposals and submitting revisions and amendments that Tobagonians did not have an input in.
Morris explained what he believed that the Chief Secretary ought to do at this point.
I would suggest that the Chief Secretary respects the process that was adopted by all of Tobago, one that really involved consultation and collaboration rather than a one-man dictatorial show.
Tanika Cruikshank, Tobago Updates Television News.
So a location has been identified and agreed upon for the construction of a new Scarborough Secondary School. In fact, Education Secretary Zarisha Hackett confirmed that the sod would be turned tomorrow to mark the beginning of the construction process. She went into more details about the project on our GMT program this morning. Here's more.
Secretary of Education, Research and Technology, Zarisha Hackett said when the sod is turned and a sign erected, it would mark the new beginning of a long-awaited smart school in Tobago. Hackett is well aware of the challenges faced at Scarborough Secondary School since her father attended the school and she taught there for about 10 years.
And since then, Tobagonians have been advocating for relocation because we knew that erosion and underwater issues were having, geographical issues and so on, that the school would not last at that location.
She also said that a lot of money was spent on coastal engineering and that routine maintenance was not done at the school. She shared that the Division of Education tried to ensure that at least the health and safety issues were addressed.
And recently, some inclusive pursuits were also made because we have students that are differently abled that attend that school. But all of that, we had to be very mindful that we didn't expend too many resources on that plant.
Hackett said this occurred while trying to pool resources together for a new school that is going to take almost $400 million based on preliminary budgeting. She announced that E. Idecott would be the project manager, and immediately after the sod turning exercise, a request for proposal will be sent out.
And we are going to have make a call for the best engineers, the best contracting firms anywhere in the world. And I'm saying that we're going to make some provisions, of course, for what the labor would look like and the subcontracting would look like. But those procurement issues would be spoken to tomorrow by Chief Secretary.
Although she would like to have a state-of-the-art school in Tobago, she indicated that there was a challenge regarding the availability of funds. Nevertheless, Hackett said everything was done to ensure the school's new location was the most ideal site.
And so we're going to speak extensively to all of that tomorrow. We're going to speak to all the consultations we've had, the user brief, the design build modality that we're going to engage our contractors in, the timeline that we're going to push the school for.
She assured the staff and students that the project is a priority because she wouldn't want to hear that something unfortunate occurred at the school's current location. Hackett also wants Tobagonians to know that this is a project that the THA is taking on and hopes that the central government honors its commitment to fund the school, which the THA will hold them accountable for. Ariana Scipio, Tobago Updates Television News.
We'll go to a break and come back with more. Do stay with us.
Hey, you come in. Long time I see you. This station complete. Ready for children party. Mommy! Jay, you can't go nowhere with these children. And you know you can't depend on Kevin neither Steven to see about them. Yeah, total waste. So I supposed to stay home whole time? Jada is 12. She could see about that. You just leave Jada to see about Kia and Kayla. I thought it was your mother or your sister. Who? Them always busy. Jada could handle that. She cooking and cleaning a long time. And the next two better know what time it is. It's only me, you know. I will talk to my mother. She just home these days. She will make sure the children okay. Alright. Let me see the moves for later.
Before you ramage, make sure the children okay. Call 996 to report all child abuse now. A message from the Children's Authority of Trinidad and Tobago.
Welcome back. Secretary of Education, Research and Technology, Zorisha Hackett, went into more details about the reintroduction of COVID-19 protocols in schools across Tobago. Reporter Tanika Cruikshank has more.
Education Secretary Zorisha Hackett said she had convened a meeting on Monday 15th of January where they discussed reviving the infectious disease management plan, which was developed in anticipation of the return of face-to-face learning in April 2022.
And so we pulled that document out because we realized that with the passage of time, schools were just not utilizing. And I'm not only saying schools, the THA in general. We relaxed a bit, we started not wearing the mask, not sanitizing as we should, not washing our hands as we should. And because DIRTEC had invested so much into sanitizing equipment and everything required to ensure that the spaces remain sanitary, we had to revert to that modality.
According to Hackett, there was an internal memo between School Supervisor 3, Sherry-Ann Rolox Hackett, and Principal of the 3 ECCE primary schools and secondary schools in Tobago. The memo inquired about the school's capacity and resources, including hygienic supplies, as the plan was to re-implement COVID-19 protocol in schools.
And that is because we realized that we at DIRTEC had to provide that support to ensure that the schools were up and running, especially at the entry points, so we can reintroduce those protocols.
The Education Secretary said there is an infectious disease management plan in place, which is essentially a set of guidelines that the division has created on what must happen with students and staff on the compound, as well as how parents should take care of a child who may be exhibiting symptoms.
Everything from the general guidelines, how you enter the school's compound, how the teachers should be looking for the signs and symptoms that will present themselves, to that period where you remain at home and you're returning to school, where the Education District Health Unit, that's right there at the Division of Education at Touchfort. That fit to return test that you get right in-house at our division.
Hackett said Tobago is always in a state of readiness for cases of influenza, especially as visitors are always on the island.
However, after having conversations with the Secretary of Health, Wellness and Social Protection, Dr. Faith B. Israel, over the weekend, and with the numerous calls I've been receiving as Secretary as well as the Administrator and School Supervision Unit, and parents just very worried and concerned about, the rise in the flu and the fact that we're having all these symptoms, these respiratory illnesses presenting themselves. We took a proactive approach.
Hackett assured Tutor Tobago officer Braden Roberts that all safety precautions were being taken. Braden had expressed concerns about schools' readiness to reintroduce COVID-19 protocols. Tanika Cruikshank, Tobago Updates Television News.
At today's post-cabinet media briefing, Prime Minister Keith Rowley expressed his skepticism about the opposition's commitment to combating crime, alleging that they consistently impede the government's efforts to pass crucial crime bills. He questioned if the opposition really wanted the abatement of the current crime situation.
The classic one being the anti-bail bill. That bail bill was meant to make bail a little less available and to slow down the revolving door that criminals use to have more time to attack the population.
Highlighting the government's past collaboration with the opposition during their time in the opposition, Dr. Rowley expressed the following.
You will see where Prime Minister Kamala Prasad Bisesa, early in her tenure, dealing with the anti-gang bill, praised Minister Imbert, Marlene MacDonald, and somebody else from the opposition for the good work that they had done in assisting the government in getting that bill out of committee.
Dr. Rowley continued to emphasize the importance of the bail bill, stating that its implementation would significantly impede criminal activities throughout the nation. Well, due to concerns about students' health and safety, Signal Hill Government Primary School was dismissed early today. The Division of Education Research and Technology announced that the school will remain closed on Friday, January 19, 2024. This action ensured staff and students' safety and well-being were placed first. The division has collaborated with the Public Health Department of the Division of Health to address the current issue promptly. We'll go to a quick break and come back with more. Do stay with us.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up and look, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up and look. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show. Live more.
Hello everyone, it's your boy Harry here from Authentic Car Clinic, located right here in Tobago at Tobago Local Road. You can WhatsApp us or call us at 366-4173.
The Ministry of Health has confirmed Trinidad and Tobago's first JN1 subvariant case, which falls under the COVID-19 category. The ministry says, as of right now, there is no proof that the JN.1 subvariant leads to more serious sickness. Evidence, however, points to the possibility that it spreads more rapidly than its predecessor did. Unfortunately, 5 COVID-19 related deaths were reported from December 23, 2023 to January 15, 2024, as revealed by Minister of Health Terence Dialsing. The ministry will keep pushing for proper hygiene among the population to stop the spread of the viruses like COVID-19 and influenza. These include washing hands regularly with soap and water or using alcohol-based hand sanitizers, regular cleaning and sanitizing of high-touch surfaces, avoiding sharing personal items, touching your face and eyes with unclean hands, close contact with persons who display symptoms of infectious viruses, and please, they're also asking persons to wear masks where appropriate and to stay home if you are ill. At the Public Accounts Enterprise meeting on Wednesday, it was disclosed that the Vehicle Management Corporation of Trinidad and Tobago, VIMCOT, is owed $37.4 million. Regarding the monies owed to VIMCOT, Chairman Neil Bennett stated that the account department contacts their clients hoping to receive what is owed. $37.4 million is the amount owed from 2012 to present, and VIMCOT owes $8.6 million to other entities. However, VIMCOT cannot take legal action on this matter.
Because this is a mandate coming out of the Ministry of Finance as the corporation sole, and we have guidelines that instruct us not to do that.
Benet said that the TTPS owes VIMCOT as far back as 2004.
And we are conducting an exercise right now. We have received some payments from them, and we are still pursuing the collection of that outstanding amount.
That the Ministry of Works and Transport has been a mediator in the debt owed to VIMCOT by the PTSC, which resulted in them collecting $6.5 million. This money was used to pay their debtors. Now for the weather update from the TNT Met Office. Tonight, expect generally fair weather with a slight possibility of a few showers, primarily occurring after midnight. Overnight temperatures will dip to a minimum of 24 degrees Celsius. Tomorrow's forecast includes variably cloudy skies and a breeze, accompanied by occasional light showers in certain areas. There's a low chance of experiencing 1 or 2 moderate to heavy showers. The night is expected to remain fair. Daytime temperatures will climb to a maximum of 31 degrees Celsius with a heat index of 35 degrees. Seas are moderate, occasionally rough in the northeastern regions, where waves may reach up to 2.5 meters in open waters and less than 1.3 meters in sheltered areas. For maritime activities, exercise caution, especially in the northeastern areas. Sunrise is at 6:25 a.m. and the day concludes with a sunset at 6 p.m. Stay weather aware and be prepared for varying conditions. And that's how we end this evening's newscast, recapping the headlines. Cabinet approves committee on the matter of constitutional reform for Trinidad and Tobago. Prime Minister says SOE is not the solution for crime in this country. TRHA leases ambulances from Trinidad and Tobago records its first COVID-19 JN.1 subvariant. I'm Patricia Nicholson Richards, thanking you so much for joining us and wishing you a good night.